On behalf of the entire Millbrook community, I am honored and delighted to welcome you here today, a day that our faculty have come to recognize as the happiest day of the year, Grandparents' Day. I've been thinking a lot about why this is the happiest day of the year, and I've reached one airtight, rock-solid, irrefutable conclusion. Your grandchildren love you so much more than they love their parents. That's it. It's true. It's true. Unlike their parents, they actually want you to be here. You should have seen drop-off day this year. Your grandchildren were sprinting away from their parents to get to their dorms, to be with their classmates, to say hello to familiar faculty, and your children, our parents, were exiting down School Road at Mach speed, saying, "Free at last, free at last," as they convinced themselves that this intentional separation that happens in boarding school is a tried and true counterintuitive act of love. With you, it is different. Your grandchildren want to be with you as much as possible, and they want to share with you this school, which is their school, a community for which they do have tremendous pride and gratitude. Our students tell me they cannot wait to host you because you have this special way of making your grandchildren feel totally loved without judgment or daily questioning. My best friend's late grandfather, Turk Marcello, used to say to everybody that he met, "You are my only friend." So this example, "Papa, you are my only friend." And he would do the same thing, "Grandma, you, I mean this, you're my only friend." I had to do that for my friend Turk. He had a way of making you feel like no one else in the world mattered, and even if he was full of beans, you still felt this kind of unconditional love and support and just believed him. This magical connection between a grandparent and grandchild is perhaps best explained by Sam Levinson, who said, "The reason grandchildren and grandparents get along so well is that they have a common enemy." Or as my father-in-law has become fond of reminding me, and he is in love with my 3 children. He says, "Grandchildren are the gifts we receive for not killing our own children." So here we are on the happiest day of the year, and you all are my only friends. I want to tell you that your grandchildren are blessed to be in a wonderful school with a noble and clear mission. Our mission, in a community where every student is known and needed, Millbrook prepares its students for college and lives of meaning and consequence by instilling the values of respect, integrity, service, stewardship of the natural world, and curiosity. We are a values-based school, and while we care deeply about preparing your grandchildren for college, we believe that's easy. What's not easy is, will they be a productive, informed, generous, resilient citizen in a democratic society? Can they engage in civil discourse, whether they stand with the majority or the minority on any given topic? Will they be good husbands, wives, partners, parents? Will they be ethical leaders and socially conscious volunteers? We spend more time pondering and preparing for our students to be 40 than we do thinking about who they'll be between 18 and 22. The program of Millbrook is based upon the founding headmaster Edward Polling's vision of the school. And it's a vision born out of a contradiction: to be conservatively progressive. This is not political, this is pedagogical. And it suggests that change and evolution is in the DNA of this school. It's this paradox of conservatively progressive, which demands us to take the best of our past as we innovate for the future. Or as Mr. Polling, the founding headmaster, wrote, "We will not assume that new methods are best simply because they are different from old ones, or that the fundamental nature of the human race has suddenly changed. And we will not adhere to tradition for tradition's sake. We will reject old methods for which experimentation has shown there are better substitutes. And we will keep in touch with contemporary educational developments." That's not bad for 1928. This dichotomous tension of constantly studying who we are and who we want to become is the very essence of what defines Millbrook. And we are among the fortunate few independent schools in this country whose philosophical integrity has been hardwired into our origins. And we continue to aspire. We aspire to be the finest, coeducational, ideal-sized boarding school in the United States. The support of our trustees, our alumni, past and current parents, our grandparents, and friends illustrates our success by every measure. Admission statistics here are at an all-time high. 800 visits, 700 applications for 100 spots. The annual fund smashed records in dollars raised last year, and we were among the top 3 boarding schools in the country for parent and alumni participation. We averaged 75% of our students being admitted to one of their top 2 college choices. And if you've heard of a selective college or university, we've sent Millbrook students there. The state of the school, in one word, is excellent. And we're not stopping. We have plans for enhanced dormitories and faculty housing, plans for a new boys' dorm right there out that window, plans for a new field house on the east side of the Mills Athletic Center, plans for a new business office, alumni house, headmaster's house, all on Pulling Circle, which will drastically improve the arrival to campus. And we are always in pursuit of a larger endowment to support our people, program, and plant. If any of you have interest in partnering with us, my number is 315-430-0627. My email is jdowns@millbrook.org, and I'm available 24 hours a day. And in all seriousness, my mother is fond of quoting Mother Teresa, who said, "One drop, one drop, one drop, that makes up the ocean." And that's how we've built this school, and we are quite proud of that community effort. Speaking of community effort, I have invited our faculty grandparents to join us today. That is, those Millbrook faculty members who, like you, are grandparents. Nancy Stahl is our Director of Development, and she is known as Nanny. Barbara Gatsky, Director of Parent Programs, she is Gigi. Betty Siegenthaler, Director of Events, and John Siegenthaler, Latin teacher, Associate Director of College Counseling, head boys soccer coach. Their affectionate names for Grandma and Grandpa have yet to be determined, so maybe if you have some creative ideas. They have a 3-month-old grandchild. Michelle Blaney's not here with us today. She's our Director of Communications. She's also Gigi. Cam Hardy is back behind you here, our school chaplain. She is Nani. And her husband, who's not here with us today, I think he's teaching maybe. Bill is a teacher and director of the Holbrook Arts Center, and he's known as Papa. I invited our grand faculty to be with us today. They've all dedicated their lives to helping educate adolescents. And I hope they may be a resource for you as you think about the challenges you face with your children and your grandchildren. We have incredible wisdom on our faculty, and in particular this group. And I hope that this group will join me when we move to questions and answers in a moment. One of our grand faculty members who's not here, I mentioned earlier, is our 30-year headmaster, Drew, who happens to be a grandfather of 3, and his grandchildren call him D. D would say that we need to say more and more and more of 3 simple phrases. Phrases that young parents like me learn over time, and grandparents like you truly understand. Here they are. It will work out. You can do this. Give it time. It will work out. You can do this. Give it time. In a world that seems to share and access information instantaneously, a world in which delayed gratification seems to be a thing of the past, I can think of no better way to remind us to be responsive and not reactionary, to forgive ourselves for not being as perfect as the rest of our online world appears to be, and to not get caught in the competitive sport of parenting. It will work out. You can do this. Give it time. Those messages from Drew feel like a perfect place to end. So I want to thank you for giving us your time today. You are my friends. And I, like your grandchildren, am delighted to share our wonderful school with you. So thank you.